Patrick's Day stream or Paddy's Day with a double D. Let me see. I'm just setting up the stream. So we're online with YouTube, we're online with Twitter, and we're online with Twitch. I just want to make sure that if we're going live, that all of the streams are live. Okay. Why am I not live on YouTube? It says live. Let's give it a quick refresh. See if that makes a difference. You know yourself. There we go. Takes a while for it to come through, that's why. And just need to upload my thumbnail. And add the tags. Indonesian Energy, AQST, Servco, and Houston American. Those are the watch lists so far. Okay, and away we go. So, the got Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube all set up and streaming. TikTok will be joining us in a couple of minutes. So just need to set up that TikTok so I've got the chat showing. Okay, guys. So 11,000 green yesterday. We're still down on the week. We're still not having the greatest week. We're currently 23,000 red on the week. So I would need 2 more 11,000 plus days today and tomorrow to get green on the week, to get flat on the week. I'm not expecting that. That's fine. I'll write this off as a red week. But you know, we can keep our eyes on the markets and see what transpires. There is a possibility that we will get some good movers. Yesterday was absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. The Chinese stocks just went mad. So the Chinese stocks that are listed on the US markets they were all gapping up like 40, 50, 60%, which was mad. We were just spoiled for choice. The thing is, when you spoil for choice like that, it's easy to get distracted because I had 8 different tickers on my watch screen, and as one halted, another one started to move, and then as one started to pull back or consolidate, another one started to move, and it could have been very distracting. But I just kept focused on the ones that I was looking at, gapping pre-market on good volume, and I just kept focused that way. And by doing that, we were able to stay green on the day. So we'd finished by, in fact, most of the stocks started to either consolidate or pull back after about 11 a.m. market time. So after the first 90 minutes, it was pretty much done for me, and I was just happy to get a green happy to get green after 2 red days. It doesn't matter how long you're doing this. It doesn't matter how successful you are at doing this. You know, you have a red day, it does knock your confidence. So you tend to be a little bit more cautious coming in for the next one. So, you know, we've just got to get back on the horse, so to speak. So just going live on TikTok as we speak. And there we go. So we're live on TikTok as well. Okay, just need to just reload this one on my browser so I can get the chat stream. Chat. Mute that. I don't want the feedback. Ideally. Just got that over in the corner. Okay, now we have everything. We're good to go. True Data, welcome to the stream. This is a monumental stream, actually. This is a landmark stream. It's my first stream with 10,000 followers. So we hit 10,000 followers during the live yesterday, which was pretty amazing. I didn't think this TikTok channel would grow that fast. I really didn't. But obviously, it's not what could be considered viral. But yeah, I mean, still. So it's the energy stocks again that are on the watch list. They're unlikely to be trading pre-market because they do tend to be low volume pre-market of late. But they, when they're gapping up, they've been going wild after the bell. So I'm just keeping my eyes on these. We got a pharmaceutical stock popped up, AQST Therapeutics. On FDA news, so that's on the watch list as well. It's currently trading below $3, so I'm not taking a position with that just yet. That's kind of my cutoff, but it is one of those that that we're looking at. And yeah, so we've got a couple of gappers. There's only 2 or 3 that are 3 or 4 that are above that 14% threshold that I have. I really want to see things gapping up at 15% or more. So that's where we are right now. We're just watching the markets. We're looking for some volatility. We've got you know, an hour before the market opens, just over an hour before the market opens. So we should start to see some movement. Indonesian energy is starting to get a bit of volume in there. Indonesian energy is now 31s. Let me just have a look at the short float on Indonesian energy. It was a huge short float, very small float in terms of the actuals. So it's still 2.4 million shares is the float, but there's a million shares is the short float. So 45% shorted. That's huge. That is huge. Why would you short an energy stock at this moment in time with the world economy the way it is at the moment? It makes no sense. I mean, that's like asking to get burned. And knowing full well how volatile this particular stock is as well, it really is asking to get burned. I mean, this went up to a couple of weeks ago. This went up to $87, and people are shorting it at 30, 31, 32. I mean, come on, have a bit of cop on, as they say here in Ireland. 30 is a psychological level, but pre-market it's 31 that's acting as support. We've got a dollar range there, 31 and 32. Pre-market high of 33. So we've got $2 range. That's what we're watching this morning with Indonesian energy. Let's mark this out. So let's mark the key levels on. So we're looking at 329 on Servco. We're currently 340, 315 is kind of the range that we're looking at. 314. So yeah, just mark the pre-market high on its Servco. Houston American is over $6. What's the high here? The high is, current high is 659. So I'll leave that there. We can always look for the 630 is the consolidation level, $quarter level, 625. So yeah, the Nasdaq 100. Nasdaq it's down on the day slightly. It's half a percentage point yesterday, but I mean yesterday was just mad. I mean all the markets finished higher yesterday. They all finished in the. In fact, it was a bit strange because they were on the way up, and then they took a plummet halfway through the day, and then it was just towards the end of the day they just completely recovered and finished higher, and by a good degree as well. So. It was madness in the markets yesterday. I mean, we literally nosebleed in the afternoon from about 2 p.m. It just like vomited value and then just completely rebounded. I think as soon as Powell started talking and you know the interest rates went up for the first time in like 5 years or something, it was just a strange rebound. Now the trading downwards since last night. If I'm looking at when they, since after hours last night, they've been trading downwards. They've been selling off, but they're still up. They're still up compared to Tuesday. So yeah, I mean, markets interesting. What platform do I trade on? I trade on Dash Trader Pro. It's a direct market access software. My broker, I either use Interactive or I use Capital Markets. Now they have different. I believe Ethereum's going up this year. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm long on Ethereum. I'm holding Ethereum. I actually bought some more at the end of last month. So yeah, I'm bullish on Ethereum. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I think we've a good chance of seeing a 6-figure Bitcoin this year, towards the end of the year, possibly the early part of next year. And I'm actually bullish on the whole crypto sector as a whole. I mean, I know that's vague, but I'm holding 4 coins long term. So yeah. I don't bother worrying about the news. ACM pre-market earnings. It doesn't matter to me whether it's got good pre-market earnings or not. So I wait to see what the market sentiment is. That the thing is with fundamentals from a day trading perspective is you can get the strangest market reaction to the fundamentals. You can get bad quarterly earnings and the stock rallies. Or you can get good quarterly earnings and the stock sells off. And so for me, I wait to see what the market sentiment is first, you know, before I decide whether I'm going to trade it. But yeah, I mean, the market it looks interesting. AQST, so Acquisitive Therapeutics, is had some good news from the FDA with a new product line. We've got Indonesian Energy is up again. Well, it's down again. No, Indonesian Energy is up again. It's currently 19% up, but at the moment it's trading on low volume. I've just marked a couple of key areas. So it's consolidating, give or take a dollar. It's consolidating around the 32 level. The high of pre-market high is 33, and we've just come back down to kind of 31 as a support level. So I'll watch Indonesian Energy and Servco, another energy stock, pre-market high 329. So that's also up over 15%. Houston American, again another energy stock, is pre-market high of 659. So low volume at the minute, but historically this last couple of weeks they've had low volume pre-market, and then they've shot out of the gates at the bell. So I'm putting them on the watch list. There's not a lot else to watch on the watch list at the moment. So those are the 4 ones that I'm looking at. We've got Eiger's just popped up. Eiger Biopharmaceutical. So let me just pull this up on the screen. Have a look at the catalyst. Single dose of its lambda for COVID significantly reduces the risk of COVID-19 related hospitalizations or emergency room visits greater than 6 hours by 50%. So it's a COVID catalyst. Okay, we've seen those can make good moves. It's only a 30 million float as well, so that's an interesting one for. We'll keep an eye on that one. I'll put that on the watch list over here. Just to keep an eye on it. That's just popped up. It went up to pre-market highs of what are we on here as well? Can always change it. Put a little horizontal at the pre-market high of 718. It's currently 615, so it's popped up on that news and then completely retraced most of its gains. So unless it recovers and gets above the VWAP and stays above the VWAP, that's probably not going to be a trade today. So, yeah. Cost per trade. Well, it's costing me about $3 a trade. But no, it's actually costing me about $3 per transaction, which is about $6 a trade. So if the full round, so the buy and sell. It's per transaction, per execution. Average trade value, or is that personal? No, it depends. That's completely random. I mean, I don't say what the average trade value is because there is no average trade value. As far I can tell you exactly what the average trade value is. Just bear with one moment. I'll pull up my my detailed reports and so average trade gain and loss, average instrument when liquidity, price, volume. Okay, so I've not got an average value of the trade here, unfortunately, and but so, I mean, per trade average, let's have a look at that. Does that make any difference? Total gain loss. Trade distribution. So I'm just looking at seeing if I can find the information that you're looking for. This is not the droids you're looking for. No, I can't find that information for you. So, but it's completely different. Every trade's different. So there is no specific average trade because it depends how many shares I take, and it depends what value the shares are. So I like to work in share sizes, the blocks that I've set up. 500, depending on if it's a larger cap stock, I'll go kind of 500, 1000 as the kind of block sizes as typically I use. Most of the time I'm trading 2,500, 5,000. I may go up to 10,000 as in block sizes. But typically, typical trades will be 2,500 to 5,000 for me in terms of entry and exits and add-ons and take profits, etc. And it depends on the price, because if I take 5,000 shares at $6 a piece, it's going to be a lot more in the trade than it's going to be a lot less in the trade than if I take 5,000 shares at $20 a piece. So you know. No, that's share size, Roy. Share size. So I don't trade forex. I don't look at I don't even bother looking at forex because I don't trade it. Every time I tried to trade forex a couple of years ago, I lost money every time. And the majority of people do. People who get into the markets, in fact, what I've found is the majority of people that trade forex are gamblers. They like to gamble. They have a gambling mindset. They don't even approach the trading in forex like any kind of business or career or anything like that. They like to gamble. It's the same type of people that put money on the horses at Cheltenham this week. It's the same people that will be betting on the football at the weekend. And I'm not saying that's everyone. There are exceptions, but I'd say, you know, a good 80-90% of the people that trade in forex are doing that, gambling. And the stats would agree with me. Over 95% of forex traders lose money in the long term. So it depends. So, Roy, it depends on what equity I'm starting with on any given day. Okay? So if I'm starting, like today, I'm starting with $55,000 equity. I've got a leverage of 6 times, so I've got over $300,000 to buying power I could use if I want to. Will I use all of that? Unlikely. I may do, but it's unlikely I'll use the full buying power. Because the more of your equity that's at stake, the bigger the risk, of course. But it really depends on what stocks are moving. It's more about stock selection rather than how much I'm putting into a trade. It doesn't matter how much I put into a trade because I'm looking for the stock selection. So if I see a stock moving, at the moment I'm just looking at Indonesian Energy on the screen here. Now currently Indonesian Energy is $31 currently at $31 a share. So if I'm trading that, I might put 500. I might put 500, buy 500 shares. I might top it up to 1,000 shares. So if I top it up to 1,000 shares, I've got $31,000 of equity in there. Now, I may then add to that position and end up with like 2,500 shares, which will have over 100,000 in. Actually, no, it won't be. Will it? It'll be. That'll be about $75,000 worth of equity in 2,500 shares. But I know how volatile. I've been trading this fairly well. It did me dirty on Monday, but I've been trading this fairly well for the last couple of weeks. This particular stock, and it's moving because the energy sector is very, very buoyant at the moment. And so it does. I'm conscious when I enter a trade how much equity I'm putting into the trade. I do that. I do the maths in my head the same way as you calculate pot odds in a poker table. I do the maths in my head as I'm entering the trade. I've even got what the market value is on my screen. It tells me what my unrealized market value position is. So I've got all that information, but I'm not risking. If I put $75,000 worth of, if I buy 2,500 shares of Indonesian Energy, I'm not risking $75,000, which I think is what you're getting at. Okay, so I'm not risking $75,000. With Indonesian Energy right now, the spreads are like 40 cents. So straight away, I've got to factor into consideration. So I might give that $1, for example, including the spread. So it's got an extra 60-cent move that I can take into account there. So if I take 1,000 shares, I'm prepared to lose $1 on that. So I'm prepared to lose $1,000. if I take 1,000 shares, and then I'll cut my loss. But I need to be able to, before I take that trade, I need to be able to say I'm going to make at least $2,000 on that trade. But the risk versus reward setup has to be the right setup. Okay, how many trades then at a time? Set one risk against the other. No, I don't hedge because you end up, they both go bad against you. You know, I'm not hedging. I'm looking. I trade the patterns. I've got a strategy that works. I trade the patterns. I look for breakouts. I look for stock selection is key. So I'm not just going to jump on something because it's moving, and I'm not just going to jump on something. So earlier in the week, we had a stock that was moving on very low energy and very low volume, and it got halted up, it got halted down, huge range, extremely volatile. Whoever was trading it either lost a lot of money or made a lot of money. There was going to be no in between. But it was just too risky to trade for me. No, I don't put the buy and the sell at the same time. No. So what I would do is I would advise new traders trading the stock market, when you enter a trade, set your stop loss, set a physical stop loss during the market hours, because it's unlikely you'll be trading pre-market or post-market as a beginner. But during the market, set a physical stop loss. This will just help with your discipline. So if you're giving the trade a 10-cent breathing room, you're risking 10 cents to make 20 cents or more, then if it pulls back to 10 cents and you don't exit, then you're not executing your trade plan. So by putting that physical stop at that 10-cent down, then it will exit for you. Whereas because I like to trade pre-market and sometimes post-market if I'm still around, if I've not made any money that day, I execute mental stops. So I'm watching the charts and I'll have an idea where, okay, if it reaches this level, I'm out. So I don't enter, very rarely will I enter my stop at the same time, my exit at the same time as I've got my my buy. What a lot of people do when they're swing trading is they will put a range stop on there. So for swing trading, for those who are swing trading, or want to know what swing trading is where you're holding a position, you take a stance that this is my goal. Let's say I'm buying a stock which is priced at $10 a share. I want it to I'm looking to gain 50 cents on per share on this stock. I'm risking 25 cents. So you buy a range stop. And what that does is it will stop you out when it reaches 50 cents up, or when it reaches 25 cents down. So it takes your profit for you, and it takes your it cuts your losses for you in those circumstances. But you're taking it over a longer period of time, which is why some swing traders use those because it takes the profit for them. So if they set their entry at the beginning of the day, they might check on it over lunch or something, and they'll come back. They've got the 9 to 5, and then they'll come back towards the end of the day to say, okay, I want to either take profit if I'm in profit, or if I've not hit my goal, I want to take profit before market closes. Or they might reevaluate and look at the stock and say, well, I'm going to swing this overnight or whatever, and then they'll cancel the order and reset it again for the next day or whatever. But actually setting your sell, the problem with setting your sell, setting a sell order at the same time as your buy order is, if you're doing it on a range stop, like I'm just saying, is you're cutting your winners when they could go on and run. So you end up, where you could make a lot more, you end up losing out. Yes, it helps with mitigating your risk on your losers and cutting them before they get bigger than they should do. So putting a stop on the bottom end is fine. But know that once you're in profit, that you need to cancel that stop order, take some profit, and then move that original stop order to kind of break even, and move it up with the rest of the position as the stock price moves up. And that's how you become profitable. I hope I have another strong day as well, Alistair. Cancel. CXL. I was kind of wondering what are you talking about? So the CXL, that's cancelled. So if I've got an order placed, I just press that and it cancels the order. Well, I wouldn't say it's moving up. It's not moving up nicely today. I mean, it's on lower volume. If you look at it on the YouTube, if you look at it on the 1 minute chart, all these blanks here, these blanks are because it's not moving. There's nobody trading it. You know, it's if I look at that, 250, a volume of 250 shares traded. Come on, this is Indonesian Energy. 250 shares. That's next to nothing. This one is 900 shares traded, so it's very low volume at the minute. We've got a few energy stocks that. Oh, what's this one? PIC. Just hit the scanners because it's just got over $3. Right, let's have a look at the fundamentals on PIC. Q4 earnings. I want to see a better one than Q4 earnings. KidPIC. Shares are trading higher after the company reported a partnership with Disney for the release of Cheaper by the Dozen on Disney Plus. So the partnership with Disney, I'm holding Disney actually, so this could be interesting. What's the key data here? So it's only a 2.5 million share float as well, 2.8 million share float. So this could be an interesting stock. I'm going to add this to the watch list instead of IGA, because IGA's just failed. So what's the high here? The high of day is 328. Okay, let's see if we can make a little bit of profit pre-market with this one. Got a bit of volume coming in there. It's just a quick starter position for 2,500 shares. Let's see what let's see. Test 350 would be nice. We got in at 330, so I want to see this test 350. I went up to 340, so back up above 340. I'll just add for a quick profit and take away. So, you know, Disney's got, like I say, I'm holding Disney long term because I just think they've got so many different projects on the go. They're in so many different areas at the moment, and I think Disney have got a good business model. They've taken market share off Netflix and Amazon. They really are. So if this pulls back to 320, below 320, we'll get it. Okay, well, it didn't go our way, so that's okay. That's a 325. We gave it 10 cents and it didn't go our way. So I wanted to see it up at 350s. I wanted a 20-cent move. We can get back in this later if we see that the volume picks up. But that's a good catalyst. That's a good catalyst. And again, you've got to happy Paddy's Day to you as well, John, and welcome back, Cornflake. So this is PIC without a C, PIK. It's not stock picks. I'm not giving signals or stock picks. Just so you know, don't follow me blindly. Learn the strategies that I use by all means. And the new high of day is 340. So I'm just going to jump back in there. The break. So what do we do? 334. Okay. I'll give it 20 cents this time. So 315 will exit. I see this retest 340s up, back up, and take 350. So this is PIK. It's called the Kid Pit Corporation. They've just announced a partnership with Disney, and they're going to be doing cheaper by the dozen on Disney Plus. Well, the low so far, the low of that was 315, so that's what I'm looking for it to bounce at again. So it's always it's riskier to trade pre. Just know that the volume is lower pre-market, so it is riskier to trade pre-market. Whilst the moves are not as volatile, sometimes you just don't get the volume follow through for any breaks or anything like that. So just be wary that trading pre-market, trading in general is risky, but trading pre-market is riskier than it is after the bell. So we'll just open the new candle. I want to see some volume coming in here. I want to break 340. I'll take a little bit of profit off at 340 if I need to. It's not quite testing that 340 line, so we're getting a bit of resistance at 340. That's the new high of session. This new pre-market high is 340. So I'll take a little bit off there. We're still in for 2,500 shares. If it breaks 350, okay, there we go. That's nice. Take a little bit off. If it breaks 360, I'll add back. Add back there for a little bit of a discount. 340 is our new exit. So it falls below 340, we get out. So just watching this one, it's currently trading at 350s. Now it's gone up to 360s. I'll just hold that there. I want to see it. Next pullback, I'll add. Add to the position there. 350 is our exit now. I'll see this maintain above 360. That's 370. I see this maintain above 360 now. I'll just take a little bit off. Still holding 2,500 shares. Just stepping up. I'm just scalping more than anything at the minute. We're back in the green. We're back in profit now. Our exit is 350. Our stop is 350. So if it pulls back, we get out at 350. Now, there's only a couple of cents spread. It's not a bad spread. It's a relatively tight spread, you know, 1-2 cents. So starts to consolidate, we'll just get out. I want to see this testing $4. Ideally, if I can go bigger size, if it tests $4, I could actually start going bigger size with it. So we're getting a bit of consolidation here. Like I say, break even is on the rest of this is fine. Testing, we're moving back up to 370. So we're finding a little bit of resistance every 10 cents. It's now 369. So if that 10-cent resistance turns into 10 cents support as well, means that we'll get a little bit of support at 360 and bounce up, retake 370, the test of 375, the $0.75 level. So I'm actually going to add, I'm just going to buy on this dip here. Opposed to just going to add to the position on that dip. Not altering the stop at all. 350 still the stop. Just want to see this retest 370 and break it this time. Test that $0.75 level. See, the thing is in trading with smaller price stocks like this, the quarter, half, and whole dollar levels are very psychological levels. So I just want to see this above 370. And get out at 350 if it pulls all the way back to 350. Just giving it that a little bit of breathing room, this consolidation. We've got a couple of lower highs there, which is not necessarily a good sign. So it's just consolidating right now. Okay, we'll get out there. Yeah, no, that's break even on the day so far. So we're fine. We were down after that first trade, so now we're break even. So it's a good start. But I'm interested in watching this one. The new high of day here is 371. So I'll let that consolidate. Let that pull back probably to the VWAP. Okay. Where's my green? I was looking in my wardrobe for green, and it used to be. I used to have green shirts. I used to have green T-shirts. I used to have I had all kinds of green. I was looking in my wardrobe. Where's all my green? I don't have any green. So yeah, I don't have any green. So unfortunately, but oh, hang on a minute. I might have something. I'll call you back. There we go. No green, but what I do have is better than green. Happy Paddy's Day, everyone. Okay. Can you define pre-market? Yes. So, Luke, pre-market is the regular market hours are 9:30 till 4 p.m. East Coast time. However, there's a period from 4 a.m. till 9:30 where the market opens to privileged traders, shall we say, or privileged brokers. So it's trading on excuse me. It's trading on lower volume, and there's also a post market, which is from 4:30, some 4 o'clock till 9 p.m. in the evening East Coast time. So there's like 5 hours after the market closes, and 4.5 hours, I think it is, 5.5 hours before the market opens. So you can actually trade, if you wanted to, you could probably trade like, what's that, 16 hours a day or something. So cheers, everyone. It's not as good as draft, but it's the next best thing. It's draft in a can, so it's the next best thing. Don't drink and trade, Roy. Don't drink and drive. I won't be having much more than that, but yeah. Do I see a recession in Europe? Do you know what? I think there potentially could be a recession on the way. If this war in Ukraine, if this conflict in Ukraine continues for any length of time, it could trigger a recession. Okay, so that's just understandable. Wouldn't it be safe to assume it'll settle somewhere between the buy rush and previous price? I don't know what you're referring to there. What did I make on the trade? I didn't make it, broke even on the trade. So in the end, we're coming up to test 371 again now. So the break of this high, 370s, I'll get in there. I'll take a quick 371 is the entry price for a break of high with pick. So what stock did I just trade? Kid pick. It's the catalyst with Kid pick is that it's and it's up on the day 92% at the minute. So the catalyst is that it's just entered into an agreement to partner with Disney to show or to create a Disney Plus version of the Cheaper by the Dozen as a series. So that's what the catalyst is. And like I say, I like Disney as a company. So at the moment, everything they touch turns to gold. I mean, just look at the difference between Warner Brothers and Disney. If you look at the DC versus Marvel, I mean, DC's got the best superheroes, but they can't make a decent superhero movie. Go figure. I've watched the recent Peacemaker series as well. Someone was saying, Peacemaker better than anything that Disney's going to put out this year. I bet it buries all the Disney thing. I'm like, really? Have you seen the trailer for Morbius and Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness? Did you even watch Hawkeye? You know, it's like, no. Come on. Take a reality pill. It's my own. I trade for myself. It's my own money. Guys, 63 likes. You're doing me dirty. It's St. Patrick's Day, for crying out loud. Come on, everybody in the stream on TikTok, give the screen a dozen taps. You should know by now if you're a regular to the stream. Give the screen a dozen taps. It helps with the algorithm. We're probably not going to get as many Irish and UK viewers today because they'll be out on the Raz in town today with the. Is there a parade today? I think there is, but it's a bank holiday and it's St. Patrick's Day, so just give the screen a dozen taps each. Let's get that like count up over 1,000. So we should, with 60 odd people in the stream, we should have at least 600 likes at the very least. All of the above, Cornflake. All of the above. So I'm making a living at it. I have my retirement account with Interactive. I'm holding positions in there as well, long-term positions. And you know, I've got my ambition to make 7 figures this year. I want to make 7 figures trading. So we'll see what happens. That means I have to average around $5,000 a day, $5,000 a day. Do I only look at 2 to 3 tickers per day, and how do I pick them? So I pick them. I use Benzinga. I set Benzinga Pro up, and I've set the scanners up to pick the highly volatile stocks that are trading on high relative volume. And then I look at multiple tickers on any given day, but I trade one at a time, and I tend to concentrate on the ones that I'm taking profits on. If something else is moving while I'm making money, I don't care. I don't have that mentality that if I traded something else, I could have made more money, or if I traded something else, I missed an opportunity. That's irrelevant to me. It's about staying in the moment and dealing with your own, controlling your own environment, dealing with your own environment. So this is coiling quite nicely under the 370 level. We would have made a nice little profit on that if I hadn't doubled, added to my position there. But look, we're break even at the minute. Well, we'll $15 to the good. We're $15 in profit on the trade P&L. So that's neither here nor there in the grand scheme of things. So we're just getting a few dodges forming. Still getting, we're getting like 50,000 shares per minute. 200. That doji that didn't do anything gave us 200,000 shares traded. So we're still getting hundreds of thousands of shares traded a minute on this. So it's good volume. In terms of relative volume, it's already more than, what are we looking at? It's nearly 600 or something like that. 6 times. So 1.5 million shares average volume. We're currently 8.6 million. So you work that out. You do the maths for me. What's the ratio there? I'm trading on the 1 minute and the 5 minute. Don't give financial advice, J. Ross. I'm not a financial advisor. So that's see, the thing is, Alistair, you never know. So from a fundamental point of view, so Rockhard Abs has just asked me, just stated that this stock will probably go mental upwards when the bell goes. And that's just it with the fundamentals, is that sometimes the market reacts in a completely irrational way. And just remember that I was watching one of the people I learned from on YouTube yesterday. She released a video, and she said the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So just, yes, it is. This is my St. Patrick's Day Guinness. It is. I'll have a couple more later, but I'll stay compos mentis for the trading session. So they're not buying; they're partnering with KidPick to create a cheaper by the dozen adaptation for Disney Plus. So that's the catalyst here. There's nothing else moving. IGO that we were looking at, IGO Biopharmaceutical is up, and Cervico, Indonesian Energy, and Houston American, low volume. This is where everybody's watching this one. So if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we had one stock on a Friday that I think it was Marigold. It was the only one that had any volume. It was the only one that was moving pre-market. And I said, if it continues like this, this is the one that's going to go mental. And I was right, because every other retail trader out there was watching that stock. At this moment in time, pick is that stock. So kid pick. Not quick pick, kid pick. PIK is the symbol. It's not a stock pick. I'm not saying this is going to go up. I'm not saying it's going to go down. I'm not giving financial advice. If you decide to trade this and lose money, don't sue me. Do not copy my trades blindly. Do not copy anyone's trades blindly. Is probably a better way of saying it. Just remember, most people that trade the markets lose money. It is a risky game. You don't want to be gambling with your money. So, I mean, I could take a position here, hoping that at the bell, and just hold it and hoping at the bell that it's going to move up. And there's no guarantees that that's going to be the case. So I'm looking for the patterns to form so I can actually trade the patterns. And that's what I was doing. So the first trade we lost about $350. We had to make that back up. So the next trade we did make that back up. We're $15 green at the moment. But it's the only one that's got, I mean, over 9 million shares traded already today. So 9.5 million shares. So it's where the action is at the moment. That could change. That all could change. I'm looking at the wider markets. They're down on the day. They had a great rally. They kind of vomited value for a while yesterday afternoon, and then they had a fantastic rally into the close. Phenomenal. It was just it's a long time since I've seen such a turnaround in the wider market. But the SPY's down, the S&P 5's down 0.5 percentage point. Triple Q, which is the Nasdaq, is down 0.2%. I didn't say PSE. I said PIK. Absolutely. Cheers, guys. And did you all notice? I've hit 10,000 followers as of during the stream yesterday. I hit 10,000 followers. So cheers, guys. Appreciate your support. So we're just consolidating sideways with PIK. There's nothing else moving at the moment. IGA is up and about low volume. So the volume's all with PIK. It's the one to watch for me. We're just ranging between this this first peak that we got at 340 is now acting. It was so we went up, we moved up as we got in. It moved up to 340. So we were looking for this. There was a flat top formed here, and we looked for the break. So that's where we got in at 330. We got in at the break of 330. It went up to 340, found some resistance, pulled back. That was our first loss. Okay. Then we got back in for the break of 330 again. It's actually the next candle to make a new high, to treat this like a bull flag. And then we moved up. We started taking some profits here and things, but it's moved up. It went all the way up to 371, and it's come back a couple of times and tested the 340 level. So we had the resistance at 340 here, and now it's come back down, found support at 340, moved up to the 370, where it's now finding resistance here, here, and here, and again here. And it's come back down to 340. It's tested it. It's got support, 340 support here, here, and here. So we're now seeing that what was resistance at 845-ish is now support, and we're getting consolidation just above that 340 range. So you don't have to draw your horizontals. You don't have to draw the levels on your charts while you're trading. I very often don't, because I view it with my I can view it where they are with my eyes. I can put the cursor on and it tells me exactly where it is. But the sort of crosshairs do a lot of that for me. But as a beginner trader, I would advise that you put the levels on so they're easier for you to identify in the beginning. If you're just getting into trading and you're just learning, mark the key areas of support and resistance, because this is key for the pattern formations. This is key for entry and exit signals as well. So just get in the habit of marking key support and resistance levels. I'm in Dublin, Roy. Well, so Alistair, you saying that the interest rates in the UK have gone up 0.25%, 0.75%. What you've obviously not noticed is that the interest rates went up in the US as well. So the US markets will be impacted by the US interest rate hikes. So it's across the board. I think the interest rates in Europe, in the UK, we've got to battle the inflation somehow. So we've got to start putting measures in place to try and cap the inflation. Inflation in February was like 7.5%. It was huge. I mean, if it goes any higher, if we start getting into double digits, you know, if you start getting to double digits, we start getting to 1980s inflation levels. You know, in the late 70s, there was like inflation was up to as 15% at one stage in the late 70s. So we don't want to go back to those kind of levels. So now we're just getting this consolidation. It's pulling back. I don't mind this. If it pulls all the way back, I mean, it just bounced at 340 again there. So we drew on that line more for the benefit of the Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter stream. But we've drawn that line at 340. You can see that it's bounced again there. So it's getting support there at 340, and it's just trading within that range of 340 to the high, which is 370. We're getting lower highs, so we're getting a bit of a flat top, the flat bottom forming. Flat bottoms with a descending wedge, if you will, are usually a bearish indicator, but we're probably going to get a reaction to this catalyst at the bell as well. So the fact that it's now up 88% on the day, 87.5% on the day, is it could be perceived as really extended, but it's very close to the volume weighted average price. So I'm not too worried about this at the moment. I'm not saying that this is going to moon. I'm not saying it's going to vomit. I'm just saying I'm interested in this stock for a potential trade. We've got 10 minutes to the bell, so we'll probably see some volume come in and look at this in the next 5 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes before the bell, and it wouldn't surprise me if it does go red at the bell and then make a move green after that. So it's important that we look at these key levels. This 340 is a key level. It's been support, it's been resistance. We've got the high of day at 370, 371. So those are key levels for any kind of breakout after the bell. So if it starts to move up, and you know, I'll probably be getting in for the break of highs on this. If it starts to move down, I'll be looking at 340 level as a comeback level, if you will. So if it goes red at the open, then when it starts to turn around and go green, 340 is going to be my level when I will get back interested in it. Currently, the volume weighted average price is 332. So, you know, there's a lot of levels very close to each other. Now, this isn't necessarily what I would class an A1 setup, Because what you want with the setup is that a top class setup is what you're ideally looking for is what could be classed as a window. Now we had the window between $3 and $4. If you look on the if I look on the daily here, so we had a window here from $3 and there was nothing there. We had this one candle which was a big candle on the daily up to kind of $4, $3.75. So we had that window. That's why we're getting the resistance there at 371, because 375 area is that $0.75 level. That's been where the rest of the resistance comes in. So after that, we're looking at 420. So it's not ideal for a setup because we're going to get resistance every 10 cents or so on the way up, it looks like, until we get to about $5. And then we've got about a 50-cent move. So if we can ride this up to $5, that in itself will be good. But then we've got a window of about 50 cents with minimal resistance. Other than that, it's kind of, there's resistance levels on the daily every kind of 10 cents or so. So it's not a perfect setup, but it's the best we've got at the moment. Back to the 5 minute there. And you can see it clearer on the 5 minute. You've got all this choppy consolidation on the 1 minute. If you look at the 5 minute here, you can see this flat bottom forming at 340s, and then this descending wedge coming down. So the high and lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So that's typically a bearish. That descending wedge is typically a bearish signal, which very often will break downwards. Now we're getting, it's just ranging between kind of 355 and 340. So yeah, let's watch. Let's get in the green. Well, we'll break even at the minute. We're green on the trade P&L. We're down on the net P&L because of commissions and charges and whatnot and the likes. But on the grand scheme of things, we've not moved the needle at all. So just have a look at IGA. That's IGA. That's not really moved. High of day there. Only enough, it took the high and then pre-market high and then pulled back again. So 320 is the pre-market high on IGA. Servco 330 is the high, pre-market high, 329. So 330 needs to break. If you look at this, it's almost barcoded because of lack of volume. Indonesian Energy's just had a little bit of a spike up. But again, it's way off the highs of 333 or $33. So yeah, I want to see that above the volume weighted average price. Houston American, what are we doing down here? So we've kind of retraced a lot of the initial spike on these energy stocks. This is also trading below, on low volume, trading below the volume weighted average price. And AQST Therapeutics, low volume since its initial spike. So again, that's now consolidating. So it's downwards trending. So yeah, we only really have pick on the watch list that we can that we see as being of any kind of interest at the moment. What technical analysis do I use? Exactly what you've just seen me do. Technical analysis. I don't. That's a very weird question. I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. I use technical analysis. I read the maps. I look at the patterns. I look for support and resistance. I look for pattern formations. What is it you want? What is it you want me to answer? I'm not sure. Let's get the green. Absolutely. Today's a green day, no matter what happens, because it's St. Patrick's Day. It's Paddy's Day. For any Americans in the stream, it's Paddy's Day. Remember, do not speak to an Irishman or anyone else from Europe and say Happy Patty's Day, because they will look at you cross-eyed. And if you speak to an Irishman and say Happy Patty's Day, they were likely to get upset with you. So if you're an American in the stream, it's Paddy's Day with 2 D's, with a double D. And if you don't want to agree with me, or you want to know why, come after me. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. It's Paddy's Day. Patty in Ireland. Patty is a nickname for a girl, for Patricia. Paddy is for Patrick, or moreover, Podreg. It's kid pick. So let's look at the chat. 23 people in the chat. Okay, well, there's not a lot of questions. Has anybody got any more questions? There's not a lot of activity. It's just consolidating at the moment. We've got 5 minutes to the open, so let's get any questions. If there's anything you want to have a look at, is there any tickers you want me to take a look at? Is there any crypto you want me to take a look at? Just throw your questions to me and or comments at me, and I'll address them one by one. Actually, on that very issue, let me launch TradingView. So what were my trading? What today? What have I been charged for my? I'll just get rid of this. So far, I've been charged about 120 bucks, 130 bucks for the trades. Can I take NVIDIA and AMD? Absolutely. So AMD, typically AMD follows the market. Low volume, very light volume at the minute. So this is the 1 minute time frame. This is the pre-market, post-market, and yesterday. So it moved up with the market yesterday. Good day for AMD, but it's down on the day, but it's been moving sideways in the pre-market. So that's AMD for you. Very low volume. What was the other one? Was NVIDIA. I'm bullish on NVIDIA. I like NVIDIA. I think that they've got a great story. They're doing great in the gaming section as well. So again, if I look at it from a 5 minute perspective, you can see how it followed the wider market. It vomited kind of midway through the day yesterday, and then just pulled back and went on to finish positive yesterday. So again, pre-market, low volume, but it's been trading sideways. It's down on the day. It gapped down overnight. It's currently trading. NVIDIA's currently trading at 241 a share. But you know, it's we'll see what the market has to offer. The wider market is down kind of 0.5 percentage point as well. So that's where we are with that. How do I see 9? So 9 has been one of the energy stocks. 9 has had a couple of good sessions over the last couple of weeks. Now it was just selling off yesterday. Went down to at one stage during the day. It went down to 230s, but it's moving up. It's gapping up on the day today. Again, low volume as most are at the moment. It's similar to the rest of the energy stocks. It's currently 294, so it's not even on my radar because it's not even above $3 yet. So how do I work out my sell and stop point in a trade? Does the software show you? Yes, the software shows me my average buy-in, but I know where I'm buying in. The point is I have a plan. So this is a good comment and a good question. The point is, before got a quick minute to answer this question before the bell rings. So the question is, how do I work out your sell stop point in the trade, and does the software show your average buy price? Yes, the software shows the average buy price. It's under average cost. You can see that on the YouTube channel. But before I enter the trade, I'm entering it at a particular point, and I'll be telling myself I'm going to give it 10 cents, or I'm going to give it a risk of 20 cents. And if I'm risking 20 cents, I want to be making 40 cents. If I'm risking 10 cents, I want to be making 20 cents. So those are my take profit and exit points, my stop points and my take profit points. So I'm just going to... Level 2, is level 2 worth it? It can be manipulated, just so you know. I use level 2 for confirmation. So there we go, there's the bell, the casino is open. So I use level 2 for confirmation. If we get, this is going up, and if it breaks 370, we could see, I'm going to watch this opening range, because I want to see it breaking the pre-market highs. 371 is the pre-market high. Yeah, just pulling back a bit here, so that's okay. Getting Indonesian energy, just creating an opening range. Sometimes it's best just to sit out the first 2-3 minutes, watch the ranges form, and then look for range breaks. For me, 370 is the level I would expect a lot of volume to come in, because that's the pre-market high. Okay, so I've got to take some profit there, because we so we don't get rejected at $4. So I got in at 374. And I'm now going to ride this up for the break of $4. I'll see it break $4. Tested once. We've got 5,000 shares in at the minute. I'll take a little bit off. If it doesn't break on this, okay, there we go. We've got a break. So break of 4. I'll take a little bit off there. So we're now green to the tune of at least $1,000, because now my exit is 374. 375 is our stop. So I've now altered my stop on what's remaining. What I've got in the position right now is my my entry level. It's break even. So I'm going to give this pullback a little bit of room to gather some momentum, and then get back above $4. And if we get back above $4 and hold, I can then start trading the bigger size again. I'm up 2,500 shares at the moment, and as I say, our stop level now is 375. We're back above $4. I'll add to the position at 425. We're above $4. We've just come back to it. I'm using $4 as a support level now, which is nice to see. I want to see it fall below much below $4. So this is a good catalyst as well. I like the catalyst. Whether the other market traders like the catalyst or not, I don't know. That's up to them. But so if this comes back down to 375, we just exit the position. So we either make a profit on what we've done, these 2,500 shares, or we break even. So I've got $1,000 profit already. What I want to see this do is move up. As I say, if we can get over $5, that's a dollar move. I'm asking a lot right now, but if we can get over $5, there's a huge window to 550. The energy stocks are going mental on the upside. So I'm actually going to get out at 385 because that's the low of this previous green candle. I don't want to see too many lower lows. I don't mind the pullback for consolidation, but if I'm getting lower lows, it can be considered a bit of a change in sentiment. So, and if I get out and it starts to move back up, I can always get back in. Just remember that. Don't be afraid to cut your losses, because if it does turn around and go without you and move back, you can always find another entry point to get back in. You know, it's don't be afraid to miss a move. Don't be afraid to miss a move just because you're in the trade. This is pulling back now. So 385 is the low of this third green candle that we've got here is it's 384. So 385 is our exit now. We'll make profit on this trade regardless. Like I say, if it breaks 425, it's finding resistance at 420. 420 current high of day is now 423. So I'm just going to create another line up there. That's the opening range. So if we can break that, I'm going to add to the position. So I want to see it above 425. I think we'll get an influx of volume if it breaks 425. I've got a bit of a cushion as well. So I want to see it now, higher lows, higher highs from here on in. Or just for a couple of candles. If we get lower lows, it's not. It's a consolidation period that I'm not going to be holding on to. So to be fair, with that catalyst, I expected a lot more volume today, but on this one, but I mean, well, I say a lot more volume. We've done 23 million shares already on this, so it's normally 1.6 million share average on a daily. We've already done 23 million shares, so this is extremely high relative volume. So I just want to see the break of the quarter dollar. So this is kind of test new highs, but it's also the psychological level of the quarter dollar. So we get the break of the quarter dollar. There we go. Oh, sold it. Sold my position instead of buying. Now, I've done that before. But that's okay, because it pulled right back. So that worked in my favor. So it's pulled all the way back. Do I get in the bounce? So if this goes above 405, I might buy back in. 405. Sometimes that happens. You get the break and then it flushes back down, because a lot of people are looking at that high to either take profits or to add to the position or as an entry point. In this particular circumstance, we had a lot of people decided to take profits at 425. So that's why it flushed so quickly. And I was one of them. Granted, in error, pressed the sell instead of the buy button, but I'm glad I did. So now I'm looking for an entry point. So 405 is the next candle to make a new high, is my entry point. The high of this candle is 407. So 408 is the next entry for me. Have some Guinness, Tony. We're currently 2,300 net profit so far on the day. So, you know what, we're making green. 408 is what I'm looking for. It's very sideways at the moment. We're getting support around that 390 level, like I said. So if it dips below the kind of the 380, 389, this kind of level, just gonna test that next new high, next candle to make a new high. It's now 405. So I want to see the volume coming in as well. So if we look, watch the volume histogram at the bottom. We want to see this volume bar moving quickly as it moves up, and that's a sign. That's what you want, that support. You want the volume to come in and give you that follow through. When we broke, we didn't get the volume follow through, as you can see here. So we entered a position for the break of the highs. We did get the volume follow through. Okay, we'll just take a position. We'll give it 20 cents. So 390 is our risk. Let's see this up at retest those highs. Okay. First, let's get over 320. Currently, we're not seeing the follow through on the volume that I expected, but we're not testing those highs yet. Add to the position there by the dip. We seem to be getting that 390 as a support level. So I'm just going to hold at 390. The move up. It falls below 390, we get it. I want to see it above $4. Testing, ideally testing that $0.25 level, the 425, but $4 I'll accept. I'll take. We're exiting at 390, and you need to be very disciplined, even if it costs you money. You give back profits. You need to be very disciplined at to your trade plan. It costs you if you give back money from profits you've made. So what? You can make them again upon the next trade. Each trade is individual, and you can't get married to a trade just because you thought that you've got to accept that you're going to be wrong sometimes. Okay. Ooh, that was close. I nearly exited then. There we go. We'll get it. We'll get it. So that's given away probably most of our profits on the on that trade. It broke downwards, and it broke. We had that flat bottom forming. This downwards descending wedge, and it's broke downwards. It's gone all the way down to 375. So I'll show you the action. But we're still in the green, and that's the main thing. So we started off on this trade. We were break even coming in. We had a couple of trades here pre-market. We were break even, but this was the pre-market high. Okay, so we've got the pre-market high set here. Now we started down here. It pulled back a little bit before moving up, and then we entered here for the break of the pre-market high. We took some initial profits, and we were good here. We took when it moved back up. We didn't get the break of the quarter. I was going to add to the position here for the break of the $0.25. Started to pull back, so that's when we exited the position. No, we took some more of the position off. We were holding 2,500 shares here. This is when we exited the position up here at the high. Okay. We decided to get back in here as the next candle to make a new high. Sometimes you get this what's known as a bull flag formation. So the next candle to make a new high, we got in there. It didn't follow through. We didn't get the volume to come through there. So it kind of faked us out. What we did is we saw that it was holding at 390 as support. So we decided to add to our position for the break of 4 here, with a view to it moving up again to kind of 410s, 415s. It then decided to pull back, so we exited at 390. 390 was always our exit point, and that's when we exited. It took about $1,500 off our total. We were a little over $2,000 in profit at one stage. We're currently 800 profit and loss there, but after charges and things, we're just shy of $600 in the green. And it doesn't matter how green you are; any green is a good green. So and there's plenty more to do. So the energy stocks that we were looking at sideways, they formed this range. So I'm now looking at this high is moved up to 430, high of day. But look at IGA. Right, okay, so we've got IGA's got a range, that's a pre-market high, so we've got a 774 is the high. So IGA Biopharmaceuticals has now tapped tapped the $7.75 level for a second time. So it moved up. It broke on good volume. It broke the pre-market high, and now it's formed this new high of 374. So it's gone up and tapped it for a second time. I'll come back to that in a yeah. That's the second biggest gapper after no. Why is that not showing up on the scan? That's right. My scanners. I'll just change my scanners to regular hours. I confused myself then. Why are my scanners not showing the gappers? Correct. I'll change my scanners over to regular hours. It's still set to pre-market. So IGA is the second biggest gapper after PIC. I'm keeping an eye on PIC as well, but that's currently under $4. It's got to get up to over 430s for me to be interested in that. We've had IGA is the second biggest gapper. And it's on good relative volume. It's currently 30% up on the day. So I'm just watching for it to move up and retest the highs of day. So we're looking at 774 is the high of day at the moment. Time for some more Guinness. I think this is the slowest I've ever drunk a pint of Guinness in my life. Probably get banned from TikTok now for having alcohol on my stream. So it's gone up, kind of 770s. Tried it, tested it again, pull back. So we're getting this, getting a bit of a flat top forming on the 5-minute. So I want to see this test these levels again. You can see we're getting a bit of volume coming through on this candle. If we move up, there we go. We're in there for the break. I want to see it. I want to see the follow through on the volume. We'll see this up to kind of 790s, $8. I want to see the volume. Okay. 775 we broke, but we didn't get the push through. So we were looking for the break of high of day, which we got. So we've not got the push through yet. So just want to go up and test it again. We got an influx of volume, but we didn't push through. So we didn't get the confirmation of the breakout of the break of highs. So don't want to see this falling much below 750. We've had support at 750, the $half level. So I see this move back up above 760. Add to the position there at 750. That's where we're getting the support. We've had the resistance there, so I don't want to see it breaking 745 or anything like that. 750 is a quick line in the sand for us. If it drops below kind of 745, we're gone. I want to see it now make another move back up towards 760s and retest those highs. Okay. We touched 745, which I said is our line in the sand we'll be getting out of, but we moved back up to 753. I want to see it above 760s. Support on the $half level, or the range of the $half. We're not getting the follow through. That's the worry in terms of volume. When you get a move up, the pullback's normal, consolidation's normal. You just don't want it to pull back too far. So the low of this candle is 45. So that's us done. Done. Okay, so that's us 5,000 in the red now. So we that went against us. We traded this, and again, so here we traded this. We got the break of the pre-market high is over here. So we got the break of the pre-market high. You see the volume come in, and it sets this new high. It comes, but we get another high volume candle, but it set this high up at 774. Psychological level, $0.75 level, but then it pulls back and starts consolidating around here. Okay, goes up, taps it a second time, so it comes down. So then we look for the break of the highs here, and we get the break just briefly. So we enter at 774, 775, and it doesn't follow through. Normally, what we're looking for is a move with volume. We got some volume, but we didn't get the follow through. So then it starts to pull back. So I'm looking at the $half. I decided to add to the position there for the bounce back up and the retest of the highs to move on. It didn't go again. It went the exact opposite way, and so we exited at 740. So that's put us in the red. That trade there is a red trade. It's $5,000 down. So it's just wiped out the gains from before and put us into a hole of $5,000. So it happens. Easy come, easy go, as they say. Now we need to look for the next setup. Do I ever add more money while in a trade? Yeah, absolutely, Conflict. You just seem to do that. So there's a number of reasons why you would add money. So you're buying a dip for the move back up, but you're not adding. You don't add money in a losing position to average down. That just doesn't make sense. So I was looking to move back up, and it didn't conform, and it went against me. That happens. But where you'll see me more often adding to my position in a trade is on the upwards, because I'm long biased. So when the trade is moving up, when the stock price is moving up, I'll take profits and then I'll add back in, and I might add more than what I've already taken off. So if I enter, let's say I enter a position for 2,500 shares. And then I'll take 1,000 off. I might add another 2,000 shares like 10 cents later. So adding to your position, increasing your position once you've got a trade going in your favor. You've got a cushion on the ticker. That's fine. Level 2 worth it, Super Chip. Coming back to your question, I like it. I use it to for confirmation. You can see where the buyers and the sellers are, where the big orders are, but sometimes it can be manipulated. People put all orders in there and then cancel them. They're just trying to manipulate the market. So you get whales in there putting large orders in that they have no intention to execute. So I don't use it for entries and exits. I don't use it as signals. I use the patterns and the breakouts of the patterns for my entry and exit points. Not level 2. I'm just looking for level 2 for those confirmation of the support and resistance areas. There's a whole section on level 2 and hotkeys and things in my course as well. So. Okay, so where are we with pick? Has it finished consolidating? No, it's still moving down. Now we've got a bigger descending wedge. It's using the VWAP as support. So that's no longer a trade for me until it gets above $4. So I go. Yeah, that's pulled all the way back to the volume weighted average now. So, right, what else is moving? Houston American. Got volume, but no. So the energy stocks kind of never followed through. The Houston American's still up at 17%, but it's they all sold off and are trading underneath the volume weighted average. So this one is, if it gets back above $3, I'm interested. Aquestive Therapeutics. It's at 295s at the minute. So I want to see it retake the VWAP and then maybe a bit of volume come through for that one. Just looking for which stocks have got the volume today. Fuel cell. Let's have a look at what the chart's like with fuel cell. I mean, it is a big it's a big float if I remember rightly. Fuel cell. Yeah, so it's a decent, reasonable size float here. We've got 360 million share float. So fuel cells having a good day, and that's why it's got the volume. Upstart's got good volume as well. That's Upstart. It's good volume. Okay, I'll go back to Eiger and Pick. They're the top gappers at the minute. We've got another one which is Summer Infant, but it's very low volume at the minute. So again, it's a 2 million share float. So what's its normal? It's high relative volume. Not sure what the chart's going to look like though. Yeah, it's just there's not enough volume. It's relatively high, but it's crappy volume to start off with. I mean, look at this down on the 60-minute charts, like all these blanks. So that's not even a trade. So I want to see a reversal on Pick or Eiger. Those are the two biggest gappers, or I want to see something else hit the markets. Otherwise, I will address the chat. Okay, guys, so what volume do I'm looking for? I'm looking for relative high volume. I'm looking for, ideally, I want to be at least 100,000 shares a minute as a minimum. But what's more important than the actual volume is the relative volume. So what does it trade on? So it's got to be at least 100,000 shares a minute, but what does it normally trade on? So if it normally trades on a million shares turnover a day, and it's already like 3 million shares, then it's a 3 to 1, you know, it's a 3x relative volume. So ideally, I want to be at least 2x. 3x or more is better. So if it's whatever its relative volume is, you're looking for 2 or 3 times the average daily volume from that stock, and that way you know there's more people looking at it than normally there would be in terms of retail traders in particular. I mean, you can get your high frequency traders will trade it, you know, all the time anyway, and that will make up the 60% of the average daily volume. You don't want to be competing against the high frequency traders. You want to be competing against other retail traders. You want to be going in there, not even competing with them. You want to be surfing the same waves as the other retail traders is what you want to be doing. I'll use that analogy again. I like that one. Surfing the same waves. So, just looking at the energy stocks, ranging sideways, choppy, not really doing anything. So there's nothing moving at the minute. On my 15-minute scanner, I've got one ticker on my 15-minute over the last 15 minutes. So there's literally nothing moving at the moment. It's become a very quiet morning. So let's hang on a minute. We're getting some of these Chinese stocks making a turnaround. Let's have a look. Traded back here yesterday. That's just in the last 5 minutes. 10 million shares today already. In the last 5 minutes, like 500,000 shares. Sold off, ranging. There's no trade there right now. So just watch for any kind of change in sentiment, I guess. When the SPY is moving upwards, the wider markets are moving up. We've got the SPY and the Nasdaq are moving upwards. They're both green on the day again now. So SPY's, you know, 0.1. The Nasdaq's 0.25% up on the day. So the markets are moving upwards. That's a good sign. Just need a bit more volatility. I just need some more. Okay, so GitLab. IMTE was one from yesterday that was moving. In your own time. So that's just moved up quite a bit in a very short space of time. It's gone from 720s, it's now 950s. It's back above the VWAP. So now we're kind of moving away from the gap and go, because the gap and goes are kind of fading now. So we're moving away from the gap and go strategy. Now we're looking for the momentum strategy. We're looking for momentum stocks to come through. So we don't really have any lines in the sand here at the minute. That's the problem with IMTE. Integrated media technology is this the one I'm looking at the moment, and it just popped up on the 15-minute scanner. So in terms of momentum, but I'm not looking. I'm not seeing any entry points. That potentially was an entry point, but we would have got faked out. So we potentially could have got in there. Maybe here on the 5 minute. For the break of 9.50. But we're not getting huge volume on this one. IMTE at the minute. Volume today is 500,000. So even clutching straws at the minute in terms of trying to find a stock to trade. So I'm just going to turn to the chat and yeah, absolutely. So the way the scanner's set up, it shows me the volume, but I've also the way the scanners. If you look at the gap scanner there, which is the first one on the left, I can take a quick look at. I've got next to the name, either side of the name, I've got two volume measurements. I've got the average volume on the right, and I've got the today's volume on the left of the stock name, Luke. So if you're looking at that, then you can look at what's got a good relative volume. So if you can look at PIC, I mean, it's traded 40 million shares today, already 41 million shares today, and on a regular day it trades 1.4. If you look at Houston, sorry, where did Indonesian Energy go? That's a good question. So look at Houston American. It's relatively low volume at the moment because it's 5 million shares traded. It normally does 7. So you look at it. INDO, whilst it's relatively high volume, it's a very low volume stock. So it's not a highly traded stock anyway. So that gets discounted. The same with this one here. Normally it's like 5,000 shares traded with Summer Information or whatever it's called, Summer Infant. So 5,000 shares traded. It's not a regularly traded stock. So the fact that it's 100,000 is still very low volume. I need to be looking at, and I look at it on the day on the actual chart. At any given point, I need to be getting like 500,000 shares in a 5 minute candle, realistically. I'll just close that back. So Eiger's picking up some volume. So we're going back to test the Eiger's the one we just lost our most of our money on. So we're looking to retest those highs. I want to see it breaking out there. It's back up to 750s. We got out at 740s. So we're not seeing huge volume at the minute, but that could change if it starts to retest, you know, back up at 770 and retest those highs. 774. The high that we got faked out on was 780. So I'm just going to move that up there. That's the high of day so far. Okay, I'll take you for a walk later. Just lie down outside in the breeze. Can I show you where I see the volume on the chart? Yeah, absolutely. So it's very simple. So the chart that I've got here, this is the 1 minute, okay? See this histogram at the bottom? This is the volume. But also, I can look at this, and it says volume bar. So at any given point, this candle here that's working at the moment, that tells me what volume is being traded at that time. I can actually click on a candle if I want to, and you can see it says high, low, open, close, volume, which is 172,000 shares on that particular candle was traded in that 1 minute. Now I can look at the same thing on the 5 minute. So on a real-time basis, I have this histogram in the background. A lot of people like to put this volume histogram as a separate thing in the bottom in its own little window. I just have it in the background. It's just the way I trade versus where some other people trade. But that's where you see the volume on any given point. On the daily, I can look at up here, volume bar on the daily, 7.4 million shares traded already. This is how many trades have gone by, but That's 7.4 million shares traded already. So that's where I see it on the chart. I'm the wolf is not necessary. Okay, Wolfie Droid. What's not necessary? That comment or the capitals? Shouting. It's not necessary to shout. My simple answer to that is don't trade on your phone. You can't day trade on your phone. I've tried it. You'll lose money. Looking at indicators, if you're looking at indicators, so where you find your technical indicators, you can usually find volume as well. But you need to be able to see volume. Certainly, I'm not sure if something like eToro shows volume. Let me just pull up a chart from eToro or something like that. And tools, studies, measure. No, you don't. So eToro's not showing volume, I don't think. AQST. No, you can't get volume under something like eToro or free trade or something like that. And that's why then you need to know where the volume is. You need to know volume. If you can't see volume, you can't day trade. The two things that are important to take into stock selection when you're taking trades are volume and volatility. And if you can't see either of those or one of those is missing, then you can't take a trade. It really is that simple. So if you can't see volume in your indicators, then you can't trade on that platform, whatever platform it is. Volume is extremely important. You need the volume for the pattern breakouts. You need the volume for the follow through. Like the volume came in for the breakout on where we actually lost the money on the last trade. The volume came in for the breakout of the highs, but there wasn't enough volume there, so it didn't follow through, and that's what was missing, was the follow through. I'm going to try and take a little bit of a position here for the break of this 780. And we've taken a bit off there for the break of 780. That was the break of the highs. So I want to see follow through. So we're in this trade for the break of 780. We're getting volume, but we're not getting the follow through. So now I want to see the follow through. Just take a little bit off. I've got 10,000 shares in this. I want to see this testing $8. Get up, test $8. At 785s. You see the volume coming in there. We've just broke the high of day. The volume's coming in. We're up 790s. I want to see break. I want to see it up there and test $8. I don't want to see it rejected at 790. I want this. If it's going to get rejected, I want it at least test $8. Come on, test the whole dollar. Don't be a pussy. Still in for $5,000. Our exit is 770. There we go. Our exit was there 770. So we were $5,000 in the hole. We've just clawed some of that back now. So we've clawed $2,000 back. But now the new high of day is here at 795. So I can't take, I reasonably can't risk taking a position at 7.95 because it's too close to the whole dollar level. So when this moves up now, I'll be looking for the break of $8 because that psychological level of the whole dollar level is incredibly important in trading low value stocks. So if I take a position at 7.95 and it moves up to $8 and then gets rejected at $8, even on the spreads, which are currently 5 cents, I've lost money. So I need to see this break $8 for this to be for us to go back in. But patience is key on these things. Like I said, just waiting and waiting for this to go back up and retest the highs. It broke the highs this time. I jumped in for the break of the highs, and we managed to get $2,000 out of that. So we've recovered $2,000 of the $5,000 that we were in the hole. So we need another $3,000 to recover to get green again on the day. So it's pulling back now. So the rejection at $8, $7.95, but the rejection at the $8 level, it's now consolidating. So I'll look at this to see if we get a bit of a turnaround. So the next candle to make a new high could be interesting. The high is 788. At the moment, that's not the case. I need to see a new candle make a new high. Head of Guinness. Yeah, I don't trade under $3. You did indeed hear me say that, Danny. If it's less than $3, I don't trade it. I don't like to trade anything under $4, but when we're in, like today, we're in it's a bit quiet, there's not a lot of choice, then I'll trade something between $3 and $4. Learning is so if you're trying to do it on your phone, you're not going to get in and out quickly. That's the whole point, which is you need the right setup. What you're doing right now is like you're trying to be a plasterer with a butter knife. You know, how can you plaster walls with a butter knife? It's you need the right tools for the right job. So get a laptop, get a desktop, whatever computer you want. Indonesian Energy is making a bit of a move. I'm more interested in the breakout here. Another breakout. The break of $8. Well, Indonesian Energy has just made a bit of a spike. I'm sure that will probably pop back down just as quick. So, and it's important, just because you've had a good time with a particular stock, don't get married to it. The performance of a stock, the performance of trading on any given stock and any given day is going to be different from the day before. It's all separate. It's like expecting to going to the roulette table and saying, it's landed red 5 times in a row, it's definitely going to be black this time. It doesn't work that way. The probabilities are exactly the same. So we're tapping that 7.95 level right now. I want to see it break $8 because that's a key level. Okay, rejected at $8. Give it 20 cents. And I'll get a running big size as well for that break. It's not ideal. So it didn't break the $8, and it was rejected at $8. We entered for the break of $8 on $8, and it was swiftly rejected. So, you know, from a setup point of view, it was right. We got the volume coming in, we got the break of we got the break of 8, and then we enter big size for the break with the volume, and then it's just been rejected. So sometimes the patterns don't pan out the way you want them to. But if you are going in with a plan, execute the plan. I said I'm going to give this 20 cents. So, you know, in and around the 780 level is I'm risking $5,000 on this trade is what I basically said I'm going to do. Can I make $10,000? Let's see. I want to see this above $8. Very low volume these last two candles in comparison to the one before where we actually broke the high. So we had a lot of people watching the break of the high that got faked out the same way that I did, and then they're not. Most transactions here have taken place at 750. So this is quite a volatile stock as it happens. I mean, it's trading good volume in comparison to relatively speaking. 10 million shares traded now, 10.1. So we just got back up to 795 there, which was the previous high. The new high is $8, which is where we entered. The break of the whole dollar, it didn't break. So I'm just holding this for the break of the whole dollar now. Moving back up. Again, we're testing that 795 level. High of this candle is 793, 795 now. So I want to see this above $8 and a bit of a run, bit of volume come in to push it above that $8 level. Getting a bit of resistance at $8 on the whole dollar level. And this is where your level 2s come in handy, Luke, or whoever it was that asked me about level 2 earlier. As you can see, the orders that are placed at the whole dollar level when you start getting up there. There we go. We finally broke $8. It's pulled back again. I want to see the volume for the follow through. Volume for the follow through. I want to see this above $8 and stay above $8. Right now it's trading around 790s. So we've broke this. We've broke that watermark at 795 on 2 occasions now. So getting above $8. The buyers, the sellers at 795 we've broke through that wall at 795 a couple of times. So now we just need to keep that upwards momentum. Break $8 again. This is what's known as coiling. So when it finally does break that level, you want it to break with huge velocity, with a lot of volume and a lot of velocity. So it makes a big run. It doesn't matter if it pulls back. It makes a big move of kind of 10, 15, 20 cents above the level that it's breaking. So the threshold here is that 795. That's where a lot of the selling activity is taking place. Then we've got the psychological level of the $8 that it's finding difficult to break through. So if I'm looking on the, I mean, we've got open skies after $8. Look on the weekly. last time we were up here, we got 820 is the next resistance level really on the weekly. So looking at the daily for the last few months, it's not been up this high for a long time. Don't like that doji. That doji's kind of a dojis are a sign of indecision. They can be a sign of sentiment change. It's where the bears and the bulls are not making headway either way. It's where the open and the close is the same effectively. Give or take a cent or two. I don't like dojis when you're trying to follow a trend. And we're getting a doji on the 5 minute too, so interesting movement on this one, particularly around, there we go, we're up to $8 again. Tap the $8 level, it's rejected. I want to see the volume come in and help us over that $8 threshold. That's what's missing. We're missing that $8 threshold. The ask is on, it was on $8 was the ask. So we're getting there slowly. Patience is a virtue, as they say. So I want to see this up at 810. That would be nice. $803, $804. Yeah. 810. Take a little bit off there. $803. Back to 8. Let's get over 810s. I want to see this up at the $0.25 level. Seeing a lot of resistance every 10 cents. Just reduce my exposure a little bit. Not taking profits as such, and just reducing my size, because I felt like that's what it was going to do. Our exit is still the 780 level. Sometimes you just got to be patient. Patience can be frustrating. So if you're not a patient person, if you're not disciplined, you don't have patience, then stay away from the markets, because they don't care about your feelings. They won't do what you want them to do just because you want them to do it. But I like that, like hammer candles. A hammer candle is where the body's at the top and the tail's at the bottom. That's a sign of buying pressure. So we broke the $8 level. We're just consolidating in and around it now. I want to see this back up towards 810s now. Slowly catchy monkey, I think is the phrase, isn't it? That's the terminology we're looking for. I want to see this 810. We'll be able to take a little bit off at 810. The spreads have widened. Okay. From here on in, if we get to trading around 810, I want to stay above that level. Test $8, $0.25 would be nice. New high of day is 812, 814. Well, we're in this one now. 10,000 shares at the moment. So it's 8.9s. 809 is the average price. Our buying price is $8. So we just tap the new high. New high just broke highs. Just holding this a little bit longer. Riding this up. Quarter dollar level. We'll take some profits at 825. If we get over 820, we'll start taking profits. Otherwise, our break even is, if it pulls back, break even is our exit. So we've got 820 on the ask. I want to see it above 820 so that we can get a little bit of profits. I'll just take a little bit off there. 820. We're just still in this trade. What is this trading platform with the hotkeys? Trading, I think, is the word that you mean, as opposed to training. This is Dash Trader Pro, but most direct access software allows you to get hotkeys, and this is hot buttons that you can see on the. But I've also got hotkeys set up as well. So and for 5,000, our exit is $8. Break even. There we go. Okay, so it's pulled all the way back. So that was that was quite a long trade. We were in that position for quite a while, and I would say when we got into this was 10 past 10 market time. We've just got out now, and it's 10:30 market time. So it's took us a while. We've made a bit of inroads. We're now still in the red. We're still 1,600 down on the day, but it's better than 5,000 down on the day. So this trading platform is the one I believe that you're looking at. Is it's the one that you can see is on YouTube is Dash Trader Pro. So this is all Dash Trader Pro, these two screens. This is Benzinga. And well, that was a bit frustrating. Just having a look. Where did pick go? Pick kind of died. Let me just have a quick look. Yeah, it didn't do anything after we traded it. And we were up quite well with pickup at one stage, so that's a bit of a shame. But IGA, we're still 1,700 down on IGA, so we've got what time is it now? We're an hour in. This time yet? Okay, so I'll give you the tour of my desktop, so flip the camera. This is my face. So this is Daytrader Pro. So these are the charts on Daytrader Pro. So this is what I'm trading on. This is the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and I've also got the 60 and the daily. The 60 isn't really that relevant, if I'm being completely honest. I've only put the 60 in there for symmetry's sake. So this is the 1 minute and the 5 minutes is where most of the action and what I'm watching most of the time. I'll just zoom in on the 5. So that's what I'm watching most of the time. So you can see here that with IGA, we started here, we entered this trade here, we've exited there, we made some good money, then we exited that position in its entirety. We entered again here for the break of $8, and it didn't, with the high volume, it didn't actually take place. It pulled back, so that's when we lost our money. So we actually, where did we get out? We got in there, and we actually lost money on that particular trade. So then we entered here for the break of $8, and we held, and then we got out here, and then it stopped us out here. So that's where we are. And it's making another move back above $8. It was difficult to get above that $8 level. So our current P&L at the moment is 1,600 bucks in the red. So this is those are my hot buttons at the top. This here is so this is my watch list. This screen is just 8 tickers on the 1 minute time frame, and I've got the markets down here because I've only got 5 things on the watch list. And this is Benzinga Pro. So Benzinga Pro, I would have this set up pre-market. I've got my session scanner. So this is basically telling me what the gappers are. Tells me the volume. I can just, what the ticker actually is. I can just scroll what the average volume is to find out the relative volume. So I've got all of that information at my fingertips. I want to know what, if I do for pick, for example, I can just click on pick, and it brings up a new window, and it tells me exactly what the news is. So it tells me it's got Q4 earnings, but it also says that, look, Kidpick shares are trading higher because the company's reported a partnership with Disney for the release of Cheaper by the Dozen on Disney Plus. So that's why Pick is trading higher. So this is Benzinga. This is, try it for 14 days for free. It really is worth its weight in gold. On this screen over here, I've just got my my stream and my chat. So I've got TikTok there. I've got Twitch, YouTube, and everything here. So that's where I am. On this, I've got the session. This is where I find the gappers based on the session. This is where I find the momentum stock, so it's based on the last 15 minutes. What's the move over the last 15 minutes? This is where I find surging stocks. So these two are over 5 minutes. One is based on the percentage move, and one is where the volume is. Where's the volume being traded? So at the moment, it's saying Beck is being traded, but I think that's wrong. So I'll double check that. Then I've got my signals. So any price spikes, halt resumes. I'll set it to session highs as well in a minute, day highs, so I can get that. And then I've got rolling news that's coming through in real time that allows me to react in real time. I can, if I see like Eligo shares are halted on a circuit breaker there, I can look for that on the momentums, and if it starts any news that comes through here, then I can then look for that up here, hitting the scanners, and then move up to the chart to start trading it. So that's essentially my desktop. If I show you my TikTok here, so this is me. If you want to know where those tools are, if you go into my profile, and you'll see that you follow the TikTok trader, and it brings you through to one thing, and then you come to this. So first and foremost, most importantly, if you want to learn how to trade, if you want me to teach you personally how to trade, trade the way I do it, look for the patterns that I use, the strategies I use, that first link is here. And this is the course that you can learn how to trade. This is the full syllabus. There's 12 modules with exams, recorded lectures. and it's 150 bucks. It's just less than 150 bucks. That's US dollars. If it's sterling that you're after, it's about 120 sterling. It's about 135 euros. So whatever your currency, it's very reasonable. On that as well, if you scroll to the bottom, you can see I've included 3 months P&L from my trader view, the actual P&L of the month on the trades, and then my broker statement to actually back that up. So you know, all of this is freely available for you to look at. What I would suggest though is, if you're going to do that, you want to use Benzinga Pro. You click on the Benzinga one, it brings you to this, and you'll go up there and start a free trial. Right, for 14 days for free. That's all you need to do, and you get access to all these scanners, all these information on stocks, where I find stocks to trade. If you want to record your journaling, that's Trader View, journaling. Charting is Trading View. The platform that I'm using is Dash Trader, which is here as well. And if you want to actually test your luck and test your skills already, you can go into these funded account links here. Get a funded account with TradeNet, and how that works is, with the stocks, there's 3 options. You will risk $2,700 of your own money. They will risk $1,300 of their money, but they will fund you an active account of $80,000 buying power. Okay, so the rules are that you can't risk more than $4,000. If you lose $4,000, i.e. the account balance goes to $76,000 or less, you will forfeit that $2,000, $2,700 or whatever it is. But if you make profit, it doesn't matter how much or how little, you keep 75%. They keep 25% because they're the ones that are putting the equity up. So you keep 25%. It's a good way to get started on a low value entry, if you will. If you've not got $2.5 grand to spare, you can do it for $3,500, and you get a smaller account, $14,000 live trading account, but your split is only 70%. You get 70% of the profits, and the maximum drawdown is 700. So it's a kind of a 50-50 split in terms of the risk. They're taking half the risk, you're taking half the risk. Or you can just go for the challenge, which is a $10,000 simulator, and it costs you $200 for the simulator, and you're allowed a drawdown of 500. You've got a challenge to reach 3,000, a 30% profit over whatever time period. If you do that, they'll give you $2 grand in cash, or they'll give you the $80,000 account to trade under. So it's up to you. It's a good way of getting in for minimal risk or less risk without, you know, putting $5,000-$10,000 of your own money into a broker account. What else have I got up here for you to have a look at? Oh yeah, they've got the same thing with crypto though. So whatever you are, but if you want to learn how to trade, this is the one. This is the course for you guys. Get in there, sign up. I'll give you some personal mentorship and personal coaching. Okay, so on the back of that, I'll get back to the chat and the questions. Okay, so thanks God, show the monitors is for somebody, but it's yours. What? Okay, Wolfie, you're not making. You started. You came into the chat shouting, and now you're not making any sense. Michael, you're learning that right now, trading on your phone, and it's not working. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to shout out that I told you so. Paper trading, you stay paper. Don't put money in until you're profitable on the paper trading. Danny did a doodle. Absolutely. Stay paper trading. Get. What I would say is get 8 to 12 consecutive weeks of profitability. Wolfie Droids, so he started off shouting, then he starts making comments that make no sense, and now he's in Spanish. So I don't know what you're doing, Wolfie, but you're making me laugh. Why would you need or want to take exams? Because if you don't take exams, you don't test your knowledge. That's what it is. So if you don't want to take exams, if you don't want to learn something, that's up to you, Omar. I mean, you know, the whole point of education is to gain additional knowledge and skills so that you can, you know, potentially have, what the hell? So that you can potentially have a new career. We're looking at 820, so we're looking at potentially buying in at the break of 820. So we're back up to the highs on IGA. So IGA Biopharmaceutical. IGA, not tiger, and not the eye of the tiger. I think Eiger is a mountain somewhere, isn't it? If my geography escapes me. So the new highs are up here at 1820. So we've tapped this, gone up here 4 times now. So we're getting a bit of a flat top forming on the 5-minute. Might risk 10 cents for this one. A break here, I'll risk 10 cents. Okay, so what website? Which website are you talking about? Why would you need to? I want exams. Like, if you don't want to learn something, you don't have to buy the course. That's the whole point. Is that the course I'm charging for it? That's the gateway. Because if I didn't charge for it, I'd have all kinds of numpties that A, don't have any money to put in the markets in the first place, B, are not really interested in learning, they're just, you know, messing around, and C, just completely waste my time. So, you know, there is a gateway to entry, and the gateway to entry is that you have to be committed to actually learning and picking up the knowledge, and your test of whether you're actually learning is the exams. Were you actually paying attention during the recorded lecture? If you weren't paying attention, you won't have picked up the knowledge to execute the strategies that I do on a daily basis. So it's a test of, was I paying attention? Now, you don't want to sit the exams, don't sit the exams. They're not compulsory, but I would highly advise that you do, because if you come back to me after completing the course and say, I don't understand it, I still don't get it, and I look back at your course and say, well, you've not sat any of the exams, the content you just skipped through, of course you don't understand it. You've not actually taken the time to invest in yourself to learn it. So what do you expect? CMAG carries them all. So it's the CMAG carries all of the whole market that you're going after. So the NYSE, Nasdaq, that kind of stuff. You can get the OTC. I'm not too bothered about the OTC. I've got access to the OTC markets, but I don't trade them. That's like the pink sheets, if you will. But yeah, CMAG, they don't carry the European markets, only the American markets is what I'm trading. I'm not sure if I think you can with CMEG, because they have a UK presence now. I think you can get access to the FTSE markets and stuff. I don't have that, but it might be worth checking. Not that you'd want to trade the FTSE. Yeah, some tickers are not available with. I don't know which broker you're talking about, Les. So a lot of these cheaper brokers, they're not actually carrying the full market. They only carry a subset, and even then, it's CFDs, so contracts for difference. It's not, you're not actually buying the stock. So you're basically saying, I'm going to bet that this is going to go up or down or whatever, and then you pay pay to the broker. So your money never actually enters the market in those situations. A teddy bear sleeping on her sofa. So there's not a lot of movement in the market today. I'm still trading the top two. We traded PIC earlier. It's below the volume weighted average price, so I'm not going back. But IGA's coming back up to daily highs. So I'm potentially looking at another break of high here. It's tapped it since we got out. It's tapped it twice. I want to see it up there, break 820s, move up to 830s, 840s, maybe test 850s. I'm looking at we've got blue skies on the daily. On the weekly, the last time we were here was back in November, December. So yeah, we're and then zoom out a little bit on the weekly. So all-time highs over the last year is 950s. So it has potential to move. But there's nothing else moving that I'm comfortable taking a trade with at this moment in time. The lack of volatility or volume is either putting me off. So if it doesn't have, before you put any money into your broker, make sure you know what they're carrying. So capital.com or whatever it is. So we tapped it. This is the fourth time we're back up there at 820. So 821, we get the break, and maybe we'll. No, it's not. We're not getting it yet. Bit of a flat top ascending wedge on the 5 minute. We've got the flat top and the ascending wedge on the 5 minute, which is a good sign. It's a very bullish signal. There's no guarantees though. You can spot these patterns and you can try and trade these patterns. And this is the thing with the strategy. You execute and make sure you've got a justification for your entry and exit signals. But there's no guarantees that it's going to go in the way you expect it to. So for example, just then, this came up and it tapped 820 again, which is the resistance level that we're now looking at. And we've got a flat top forming on the 5 minute here. So if I just put this horizontal line on the 1820 there, I'll just draw a little ray line here, which shows the ascending wedge, if you will. So we've got the ascending wedge and we've got the flat top, and typically these break upwards very bullishly. So we're seeing that on the 5 minute. So we're getting lower lower lows and a flat top on the highs and consolidation under that resistance level on the high. So what's the exam body? You're just taking them. Okay, let's rephrase it. They're not exams, they are quizzes. Okay? So if you don't want to take the quiz, don't take it. That's up to you. But don't come back to me afterwards saying that actually this strategy isn't working for me when you don't have the knowledge because you didn't test your knowledge. So I want to see this stay above $8 now because that's kind of where this ascending wedge is showing us. That's the resistance of this ascending wedge. You can't please everybody. You know, I get all these requests to put a course together and teach people to trade, and then when I do that, somebody says, "Well, I don't want to take an exam." So I'm like, okay, don't then. You know, I don't want to be paying 150 bucks. Well, don't then. You know, if you don't want to pay 150 bucks, my question is that you don't want to pay 150 bucks for a simulator. You don't want to pay 150 bucks for the knowledge. You don't want to pay 30 bucks for your journaling. My question is, do you even have a couple of $1,000s to actually put into the markets in the first place? If you know, are you really the sort of person that is interested in trading the stock market? You know, because you do have to have money to start off with. If you're looking at trading the stock market, you can't go in there with and pick your nose and expect people to give you money for it. You know, you've got to have money to start off with. You've got to have a starting equity. You don't have to have huge amounts, as long as your expectations aren't huge amounts. But you have to have something. And so if you're going to grumble about 150 bucks here or you know, 97 bucks there or whatever it is, you're probably not the person that I want to be teaching how to trade the stock market. Or the type of person. Pay nothing, get nothing. Absolutely, Les. Absolutely. You know, it's like you get somebody learns how to become an electrician, and I've yet to see a professional electrician using the $5.99 box of tools that you can get from Walmart. No, they pay top dollar for the tools. You know, you want to play at it? By all means, do what Michael's doing and try it on your phone. Because you're not going to get the entries or the exits in the right time frames, and certainly you won't be able to see the patterns the same on such a small screen. So yeah, don't trade on your phone, guys. It's swing by all means, enter positions and forget about it and come back later, and by all means swing on your phone, but don't day trade on your phone. It's just one of the tools that you need for to do the job properly. You know, if you were going for your appendix out and the surgeon came in with a rusty butter knife, I think you'd be a little bit worried, wouldn't you? I know I would. I'd get off the table. Doesn't matter how sedated I was. If I saw the surgeon coming with a rusty butter knife to open me up, no, right tools for the right jobs. Come on, guys. This is not playtime. This is not, you know, something that you want to play. This is a career choice. This is something that could, you know, be an extremely good income for you in going into the future. Invest in yourself. Don't skimp on yourself. You know, and the thing is, the people that complain about this, these are the sort of people that are walking around with Ralph Lauren polo shirts on and Air Jordan sneakers on, and you know, you're like, you'll pay £300-400 for those, but you won't pay 150 bucks to get an income that'll allow you to buy more of those. It's backwards mentality, you know. But you gotta love it. You gotta love it. No, if paper trading is essential for me, I should have spent a lot longer paper trading. I've got to be honest. If I'd had a mentor, if I'd had a strategy out of the box and a mentor to actually bounce ideas off, I wouldn't have lost all the money that I'm confident I wouldn't have lost all the money that I lost when I started trading. If I just paper traded for 3 months instead of jumping into the markets. And yes, I learned how to use the platform with the paper trade. That's what I used it for. But I didn't really backtest any strategies or hone any skills in the simulator, and I should have done. And that's on me. That money I've lost. That was my tuition fee. That was my 150 bucks. And granted, it was a lot more than 150 bucks, but that was my tuition fee. And any knowledge of note, any skills of note, from a career point of view, very often, whilst the information is freely available on the internet, if you want to spend the time and go and do that, which I did, I'm not saying buy my course because it's the only thing that you can do. No, you can go and learn yourself, teach yourself like I did. But if you want it in a box, packaged up, cheat sheets you can print off while you and put them on your desk next to you while you're trading, a mentor that you can engage with, then that's what I'm offering. This is not breaking for me. IMTE. Well, this is still red on the day, but it's just hit the momentum scanners, and we're looking at 150, 12,000, 12,000, 13,000 volume on a minute. That's not really what I want to be looking at. 26,000, no, it's still low volume. It's 1.5 million overall, but there's not a lot. Not a lot of movement. I've got to be honest. We've got half an hour left of the stream. We're just looking for something to start moving in our favour. PIC's looking to try and come back. It needs to be over the volume-weighted average price, ideally above $4, but it certainly needs to be over the volume-weighted average price for us to trade that. We're just ranging now with IGA. So IGA is ranging between kind of $8 and $8.20. It's kind of broke below this descending wedge, so that flat top is no longer, that pattern is no longer there on the 5 minutes, so I can get rid of this descending wedge now, ascending wedge. What kind of guarantees do I offer, Tony? I'll tell you what guarantees I'll offer. You'll learn something. You'll learn something new. That's what guarantees I offer. I don't offer guarantees. If you're asking, will I guarantee that you're going to be profitable? Absolutely not, because it's down to mindset. If you can't get away from the gambling mindset, you're going to lose money. If you can't be disciplined around the strategy, you're going to lose money. If you can't employ the emotional context for day trading, you're going to lose money. So I don't offer any guarantees. What I will guarantee is that you'll learn something. You'll learn the strategies that I trade. You'll see, it'll make more sense to you watching me. If you go through that course and then watch me, you'll understand exactly why I'm entering and why I'm what I'm doing. And when I say, okay, I'm going to give it 10 cents, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to give it 20 cents, and you'll know why, and you'll know what my targets are, and you'll see the whole patterns that are forming. You'll start to see them yourself. So that's the guarantees. I'm going to give you the knowledge to actually do this. It's completely down to you to actually do it, though, not me. So I can't give you guarantees. Somebody will take the course, and then they'll just completely ignore the principles. Now, if I'm being completely honest with you, the strategies that I trade on a daily basis, the patterns that I'm looking for, sometimes I ignore them. It's human nature. You think, oh, okay, this one's going, and then you just jump in without waiting for the setup, and you end up losing money. And it's a bit of a kick in the pants every time you do it, because you think, Tony, I'll go back, and this is why I recommend something like TraderView, is you can actually go back and look at the trade itself. You can actually identify where you got in, where you got out, why did you get in, why did you get out. And if you can't identify why you got in, so you ask yourself, why did I enter there? I lost money on this trade. Why did I enter at that position? If you can't justify why you entered, then were you really paying attention or executing against the strategy? The chances are no. So discipline is something I can't give you. The mental fortitude and the emotional fortitude to actually be a successful trader, I can't give you. That comes with time, which is why I say you need to be trading in a simulator first. Trade in a simulator, get profitable on a simulator, execute the strategies in a simulator, and only then put real money on the line. So that was a big spike on IGA. I thought that was just, we weren't going to see anything. So we had a lot of volatility in this candle. So we moved from $8 all the way up to $8.20. We didn't break the high. So we got quite a lot of volume just came in there. Don't know why. I'm not seeing any particular setup. Maybe on the 5 minute? No, not seeing that either. Just talking to myself as well. Why is there a load of crust on my keyboard? Do you want to come around and clean it for me? Do I see volume on the candles? I see volume in the histogram underneath the candles. So volume, I'm looking, I can see the volume. I can see on the chart, it's telling me the volume on any given candle on the chart. There's also, I see it on the histogram underneath. So, and I can, if I click on the candle, it tells me that information. It tells me what the volume was. So the volume on that last one, 128,000 on where the volume came in. Whereas we're getting like 30, 40,000 a minute otherwise. On the big candle here, we got 350,000, big red candle. So now we're back down to kind of 38,000 again. So we went from 17,000 1 minute to 128,000 the next minute, and then back down to kind of under 40,000 shares a minute. So I don't know why it spiked up the way it did. Like I say, sometimes the markets are irrational. Sometimes the price movements are irrational. It happens. And they will continue to be irrational longer than you can stay solvent. You've got to take that as a Please recommend a good simulator. Thinkorswim's a good simulator. Daytrading Pro is the same software that I'm using, but they offer it as a simulator. I don't think Sterling directly will offer it as a simulator. I'll double check with Lightspeed and T9000. But you can get the simulator from Daytrading Pro through the link in my link tree. Most brokers will give you their platform, and they'll give you a paper trading account when you open an account with them. Now, your question is do they carry all the do they carry all the instruments? If you've got a direct access software, you'll get all the instruments because you're getting the data from the market, not from the broker. The broker is just facilitating the trades, but you're actually transacting directly with the market. You've lost your gaff. Oh, I wouldn't have put your mortgage on. I wouldn't have put your mortgage. Ooh, damn, that was nice. Oh. That didn't help. Got in for the break. It broke with huge volume all the way up to 35, and I didn't pull the trigger fast enough. That's just typical. So buy back in down here. I'm watching this. Saw huge selling pressure up at once it broke that 820s, but I have a feeling it's going to go back up and retest that. So I've been trading this range. The $8 range has been acting at relatively good support level. I want to see this back up above 820 this time. Break it for real this time. Broke it once with huge volume. What was the volume on that candle? 385,000 on that 1 minute candle. red candle, but huge volume. It was green for a while. And again, there he goes. The entry there was right. I wasn't quick enough on the exit, so pretty much break even on that entry exit trade, if you will. You've got to be able to pull the trigger quicker as well, which is why hotkeys very often hotkeys are better than hot buttons in that circumstance. This hasn't been moving with that level of volatility, so I didn't expect it to move up and down that quick, given on the behavior of the ticker up until now. Okay, so hey Jack, we dug a big red hole. We're slowly trying to trade our way out of the hole, but we dug a red hole early doors, and we're just trying to trade our way out of it. That's where we are right now. We're currently 1700 in the hole, red. Next time this taps books, I'm going to try and buy a bit of a dip. So the entry position there was, I can justify the entry there, no problem. Don't mind that. So next new candle to make a new highs out add position. Considering how long it took us to get over 8, it's come all the way back. This channel between kind of 7.95 and 8.20, 25-cent channel, just ranging up and down the last, what are we, 45 minutes. Now consolidating a bit. I have that one as 807. Big 10. 811 is our average buy now. So watching this one for another move back up to kind of 820s would be nice. Nice to get up to 835. Like I say, when you get that break, it does normally come with a bit of volume and velocity, but for it to pull back so quickly and so that was a bit of a shock to the system. So you want to just be wary that it can do that for you. Not easy. You've got to be able to pull the trigger at the right time. The volume's died off a little bit. Like 30,000 shares a minute-ish. It's like a tenth of what it was for that big candle that we just had, that explosive candle for the break of the highs. So if we get back up there, we can expect another big volume candle if we go and retest the highs. Sometimes it's just about patience. Sometimes it's not going to go your way. So you've got to be able to recognize that fact as well. I mean, we were 5,000 down at the shortly after the market opened. So take that into context. If you're wondering what that snoring is, that's my teddy bear on the sofa. It has her own sofa. This is not looking very bullish at all. We're getting a bit of a flat bottom forming, sorry. And there we go, the break of a flat bottom. So flat tops are typically with the ascending wedge, they would typically break upwards, but the inverse of that is the flat bottom with a descending wedge. This is what's forming here, and they would typically break downwards. And the break upwards with momentum and break downwards with momentum. So just recognize the patterns, and very often that can be an exit indicator. If you're seeing that is going to be the case, it can be an exit indicator. Just reduce your risk, reduce your position, whatever the scenario may be, and just be wary that these signals are to the downside as well as to the upside. Patterns form in both directions. Okay. So right now we're just consolidating this kind of flat bottom, and a little bit of upside movement. Okay. It's not exactly been predictable, this stock, for us today. So currently at 810s, 811s. It's going to take a little bit off to reduce the exposure there. That's not for taking profits, that's just to minimize any kind of losses that we potentially could face if it gets swiftly rejected again. I want to see this breaking 820 this time with some volume. Hey, Preppy Glossy, whatever your name is, I'm not sharing my live with somebody with any kind of X in their title. So I want to see this testing 820s ideally. Back up above 820s would be great for the break of 820s. It's a key resistance level for us. Even though we broke it once with that high volume, it's still a key resistance level. Currently at 811s. Candles are not. This big candle here was 62,000. So it's, even this one was 5 times less than that big red explosive candle we got. That's probably the biggest candle we've got so far since then. So it's the volume that makes the volatility. We need both. Good luck, Andrew. Good luck, mate. Make sure that you don't overcomplicate things. What I mean is, don't put too many technical indicators on your charts. Is it a pump and dump? This one? No, it's got a good catalyst. IGA. I'll just tell you what the catalyst is. It's a COVID catalyst. So IGA biopharmaceutical shares are trading higher after the company reported that a single dose of its Lambda for COVID significantly reduced the risk of COVID-19 related hospitalizations or emergency room visits greater than 6 hours by 50%. So it's that came out, and that's the reason for the volatility. That's the reason for the move. Are we going to get this move to the upside? I feel like it wants to move. The energy stocks are back above the VWAP. So if you've been enjoying trading the energy stocks, they're back on the move. This one's been a difficult one to trade. It's been a lot of consolidation. I don't like to hold during consolidation, if I'm being completely honest. But there's been a lot of consolidation, a lot of sideways moving. And this is the thing with sideways markets and sideways trading is that it's very difficult to get profitable when it's moving sideways. You want it to pick a direction one way or the other. If it's down, you can short it. If it's up, you can go long. When it's sideways and rangy like this, it's you can make money, you can get profitable, but it's difficult. It is hard. Right now, we don't see any upwards, so anything further. We're trading, it's like 20-cent range here, which is not huge. We're trying to make profit out of a 20-cent range, so we're looking for trying to make profit out of like a 10-cent, 15-cent move. And it's like I say, it's not easy with that kind of move. You've got to be quick to the trigger every time. I'll stick my laptop in the dishwasher. For the guy who was talking about the crud on my keyboard, I'll stick it in the dishwasher later just to satisfy you. So when I come on tomorrow, it'll be nice and sparkly clean for you, mate. I mean, some of the comments are ridiculous. Who's ego? Oh, yeah, the energy stocks are making a move to the upside. So there's no patterns on the 5-minute other than this flat top here at 820. But we're getting a bit of a consolidation pullback here. So we might, next candle to make a new high might be able to add to the position for a potential bull breakout. That's what I tried to do there, but It didn't follow through, and that's what's it's faking me out quite a lot. Is this this particular ticker? So it's I'm getting in on the positions for a breakout, and it doesn't follow through. And then when it does follow through, it recedes as quick as it moved. Still waiting for it to move up towards 15s, 20s, whatever we can get. Don't like the lack of volume here though. That's a horrible doji to be looking at. Completely undecided. It's like 5 cents either way, and no action on the body. Completely undecided. So the ask is exactly where our buy price is. Our average cost is exactly where the ask is. So the price action is not moving at all, and that's a horrible doji to be looking at. What's the volume on that one? 47,000. It's trading a range here. So we've moved like 3 cents in the last. I mean, the action's moving. So the range is spreads are moving, but the actual action isn't. So 810 to 807. So I see this above 810s. 812, 814, something like that will be a good start. Get it back up towards the 820 level. If you can avoid it, just don't trade in these consolidation periods. They invariably don't go your way if you do. Too many dojis. That's a sign of indecision and a lack of volume. These blue histogram bars on the volume are great. Look at 47,000, 29. So we're under 20,000 now for shares being traded on a per minute. That's not predictable volume. We can't get any level of predictability with 20,000 shares a minute. We need more volume than that. So the spreads are now not too bad. The spreads are fairly tight. They're 2 cent spread. But I'm just going to get out at $8. This is just frustrating the hell out of me. This drops below $8. $8 again. I'm just going to get out altogether. Just wasting time here now. Could have been trading something else. So you can see a couple of entry levels at on Indonesian energy there. locked in this trade instead. Time and sales is telling me most of it's happening on the down tick as well at the moment. So yeah, we're getting out there. Okay, so we were 5,000 down, we're still 4,000 down, so that's kind of choppy market. Another red day, it looks like. What's my opinion on index funds? I like index funds. I've got my money in. I've got 3 different index funds. That's where I've got my money in, long term. So the thing is with index funds, what you've got to do is you've got to treat it like most pensions are index linked or index related. So you put your money in and you just forget about it, and you just keep dollar cost averaging. So every time that the you get paid, you put a certain amount into whatever index fund is your flavor of the month or whatever it is. You put your money into your index fund, and if it loses value, you buy it at a discount. If it gains value, you add more. And they only ever go in one direction. That's the thing with index funds. If they're linked to the market, then they'll go in one direction. In the long term, they'll go in one direction. So if you typically, like the SPY, for example, you would it's trading between kind of 10-12% annually over the last 20-25 years. So if you put your money into the SPY and you put in $300 a month in there for 20 years, you'll be set. You'll be set. You put it for 20 years. Don't know how old you are, but if you're in your 20s and you invest $300 a month until you're in your 40s, you don't have to invest anymore. When you retire, you'll be very comfortable. So index funds, absolutely. Long-term investment, index funds are a good option. Rather than actually having your own portfolio, that actually spreads the risk for you. You're not going to get huge gains, but you will get consistent gains that will beat inflation. I don't know about whether you should pull out of Oxy or SLB. I don't know what your position is. I don't know what your entry is. How much you're risking. That's down to you. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't offer financial advice. Indo, up 30% on the day now. Indonesian energy. Okay, what are we? 3:30. I'm going to end the stream here. Actually, I'll look for an entry with Indonesian energy. What's my buy power? 300,000. Yeah, okay. Eyes are up here at 34.74, 34.75. Really, that's what we're looking for. 34.75. Seeing anything else? Houston, we have a problem. Do I short stocks occasionally? I will. It depends on my mood. I just find that, well, first and foremost, it costs more to short stocks because you have to pay your locate fees. But the patterns, not working out for me today, but the patterns tend to be more conducive and more predictable if you go in long, because the majority of traders have a long bias. So you'll get more volume in looking for bullish breakout moves. When you're trading short, when you short stocks, the volume isn't as much. The patterns are still there, but the volume isn't as great. It sold off pretty much all time, even with that lovely little Disney-related catalyst. So Indonesian energy. It's highly shorted, this one, so 34.75 is my my watch point. It's highly shorted. We're about 40% short float on this, So of the shares that are in play, what are we looking at today? So we're 4.5 million shares. So it's recycled its float more than twice over. It's a 2.6 million share float, and it's 4.5 million 4.5 million volume today on Indonesian energy. So when this goes on a run, it does like to go on a run. That's for sure. It's very volatile. The spreads are quite tight today compared to what they have been in the past. We're looking at like 25 cents per spread in the spreads. Whereas in the past, I've been trading this with kind of $1.30 as the spread, and $1.50 in some cases. But in Servco is low volume, it looks like, yeah. Volume 3,500 a minute. Can't really do anything with that kind of volume. We need 100,000 shares or more a minute, ideally. Predictability. We're not getting that anywhere at the moment. PIC is selling off, but even that's selling. You see, PIC's getting could have been a good one to short. That's now below kind of the level I wouldn't really want to be shorting it. So we're getting good volume in PIC. So it's like 400,000 shares per minute. Over 100,000 on the lower volume candles. But we're not getting that kind of volume elsewhere. Indonesian energy. See this up around 30, 35. Okay, I'm just going to yeah, it's time to walk the dog. It's time to end the streams and finish up for the day. We're finishing red. We're 4,100 in the red at the moment. I'll keep an eye on the stocks, on the oil stocks, energy stocks, but it looks like it's a third red day of the week. Happens. It's not a great week at the moment, so we'll look to end green tomorrow, and we kind of accept that this week we're not going to have a flat week. We'd have to have an amazing Friday if we're going to have a green week and finish in profit on the week. But you've got to accept that sometimes the markets are very difficult. They're very choppy. Sideways trading is difficult to get profitable. So just bear that in mind. Look for the setups. Don't just trade out of boredom. Okay, guys. In the meantime, I'm just going to wrap up the stream, and I'll see you back at it tomorrow, an hour before the market opens. Catch you later, guys.